So my name is Joe Carpenter. I was born and raised in Michigan, mostly lived in Lansing, Michigan my whole life. Again, 34 years old, and I have been in the Air Force, so I did live in Germany for about 4 years with a deployment in Iraq. So that's kind of been my gamut, and I lived in Texas for about 2 years as well. So been a few places, but Michigan is home. So I found out about the Axe Sledge HWMF Challenge from Seth Feroci's YouTube. I used to listen to Seth Feroci and watch his YouTube back in about 2018. I took a little year hiatus from the gym, and I logged back onto YouTube to Seth's channel to get some motivation as I went back into the gym. And from 2018, I noticed that Axe Sledge had been created and they were hosting their second challenge. So really the revisit to Seth's YouTube kind of geared me towards knowing that there was a challenge happening. My favorite part about the challenge was winning, but also really the journey. I mean, it's always about the journey. We learn so much in that to get to that goal or that end result. So I just enjoyed the process of learning new things about my body, learning new ways of training, to try and accomplish a certain goal. The webinars were nice because it gave some information as well as kept a sense of community. So being able to go in depth, you're not just signing up for a challenge and left to your own accord. There was support. The webinars provided support not only from Axe Sledge, the company, but also from the community that was involved in there as well, having the questions posted by customers and participants, so that way maybe some others were wondering about certain things, and those questions were answered. So again, yeah, information and community in those webinars was really great. The private Facebook group brought a lot of encouragement. If people were having a bad day, posting in the Facebook group, there was 20 comments following it of encouragement, of positive energy, and just comments that were kind of boosting one another. People were able to put their milestones in their workouts there and be congratulated and celebrated. So while you're in a challenge, it wasn't as if you were against anybody in the challenge. We were all in this together, pushing one another along. So just the support, the encouragement, and that positive vibe and that positive energy in the Facebook group really was a huge factor. During the challenge, the Axe Sledge products that really benefited me was the Basic series. That was some of the first products that I bought from Axe Sledge because I like to create my own pre-workout depending on what I'm going into that day. And the Basic series really allowed me to dial in my own pre-workout. And for a company to make a Basic series, for someone to do that, I think is a great benefit. We can use the product that a company makes and kind of tailor it to our own and suit our own body, our own workout style, and our own approach to lifting or exercise. So the Basic series was great. I love the Basic series. It was the first products I bought, like I say, but also Demo Day. As a smaller lifter, I range at about 165, 170 pounds. So having the carbohydrates for energy, being able to recover and go in there with energy to lift big for a smaller guy, Demo Day was awesome as well. The biggest challenge with my diet was following one. With my lifting, I've lifted for about 12 years, and I have never counted calories and macros to suit my lifting style. So dialing that in was one of the biggest challenges for me. It's something that I hadn't done, and coupled with my lifting. I lift and drink protein and eat, but to break down the science and the numbers was the biggest challenge for me because I did not know my body's response to those certain dieting factors. So learning that and navigating that was the biggest challenge for me. Food. My motivation really came from not only the Facebook group and the community members, the webinars, the YouTube. There was so much available for encouragement, but also in my private life, the people who saw me doing it, such as friends, family, coworkers, that was encouraging. I was doing something outside of the box, something that they may have never seen before, and just feeding off of that energy and knowing that I was stepping out and doing something unique and neat really captured the notice of other people, and for them to ask questions and wonder what I was doing or why I was doing it. That was awesome. And one of the biggest challenges that I faced during this contest was pushing through, finishing strong. It's easy to start this thing and go on for 2 weeks and be excited and have that newness. But to have to stick with a routine and to have to make it to the gym on time and follow a program and be diligent and disciplined and not make an excuse to go the next day, but being disciplined, being diligent in my training and diet, and really sticking with this program and being dedicated to a program for 8 weeks is tough. And I think it would be tough for anyone to commit to something like that because so many factors come into play. So that really was the challenge. But again, the groups, my family, friends, and coworkers were really there for support to push that along. The HWMF Challenge changed my life in being educated on my own body. I now know how my body responds to certain training. I now know how my body responds to certain calories and certain macros. I learned so much about me, my body, and how I operate within myself. And it gives me encouragement, and it gives me the knowledge to go forward and hopefully do more challenges in this nature or possibly compete on stage. Some of the best advice that I received during this challenge would have to be that we're going to go through things that are very, very hard. We're going to go through things that are very, very difficult in life. Every single one of us. And I think the most important thing is your approach. We can either fear it, we can hate it, or we can go in there with the energy to tackle it, to defeat it, and to overcome it. It's attitude. It really comes down to the mentality and the attitude of the person. We all face hard things and we all face challenges, but knowing that we're all going to face it and that some of us will get through, you should be that someone. Do it. Do it. There is no downfall to competing in this challenge. And I wouldn't even call it a competition. I would call it participating. There is no downfall in participating in this. It helps keep you accountable. It's exciting. You build new relationships and friendships. So don't sit on the fence. Join us. If you do participate, you're in it. And I would encourage you to finish what you started. Everybody has a place here. Everybody has a place in this challenge. If you are trying to lose a little bit of weight, if you are trying to lose a lot of bit of weight, everybody has a different goal. Everybody looks different. Everybody's body is different. So I would encourage you to join, to stick with it, and to follow through. Don't give up early, because you never know what can happen at the end of those 8 weeks. My expectations when coming to Axe Sledge headquarters was that there are a bunch of defunct degenerates here, and I have no idea what I'm getting myself into. My favorite part about being at Axe Sledge headquarters is the defunct degenerates that I had no idea that I would meet. But really, in all seriousness, the culture here is awesome. What you see online, what you see on social media, the laughter, the activity, everybody working together cohesively, hardworking, but at the same time having a good time, getting along, making sure the work is done while having fun. That culture is here, and that culture is rare, and you have a company that produces that culture and encourages that culture, and it is awesome to be here, see it, and be a part of.